Hello and welcome to this ProSolvr demo. We will go through a flow where we log a new problem and see how we can solve it using templates. So here I have a system called automotive and there are some problems there already, but let's add a new problem. I click on add problem and the problem number is defaulted according to the time. Let's say the problem title is airbag failed to deploy. And the problem description is car collision but airbag did not inflate. So this is obviously a serious problem. Let's give it a priority of P1. You can add all these other fields including due date and product and organization impact and the owner, but these are optional. Let's save this problem, and the application is going to take us to this page where it gives the problem title airbag failed to deploy with a default template. Now, where did the default template come from? We can actually set a default template per application, per system. Like here for automotive, we can say this is the default template we want. Now, these default templates can be anything. You can actually select any default template from the library. And here are all the templates to browse. Let's browse and see if there's any specific template for the airbag fail to deploy. So in the system, we don't see anything. This account, there are some templates, but nothing to do with airbags. In the community, there are 192 templates, and let's see if there's airbag. Now, these community templates are free templates that are packaged with the ProSolvr system, and they're out of the box for you to jumpstart your problem solving. In the airbag failure, we find Takata airbag inflator recall, which actually happened fairly recently, and airbag failure here. Let's look at this. It looks fairly comprehensive. There is a 5M1E analysis, man, machine, method, material, measurement, and environment. Let's try to apply this template to our current problem. Here are certain attributes that you can choose. Let's include everything, and note that this action will overwrite the current fishbone and cannot be undone. This is important to know because it will be overriding our current fishbone. Let's say OK. So the system is going to update this template into our problem, and basically this is now our starting point. Airbag failed to deploy. As you see, the templates can really help to jumpstart your problem solving because it standardizes our approach. Now let's take a specific cause and say, okay, measurement is going to be analyzed by Ron, and we are going to just assign it to him. So assign to, let's pick Ron. Okay, now Ron can go in here, add some notes if he wants to. I can add a note, anybody can add a note. Let's say add a note, Ron, to check this urgently. Okay, save the note, and as you see, as we are adding data to this cause, these icons are getting colored. So the head here got colored when Ron was assigned, and the notes if there are any notes. Right now, Ron can go in here and analyze these subcauses. As you see here, there is only one sensor malfunction. Let's say Ron actually check this and he does not think this is a cause. He can say not a cause, likely not a cause, maybe a cause, contributing cause. Let's assume he says not a cause. He can attach something as evidence. We call them clues because this is kind of like a murder mystery that we are solving. So he can attach a report, or he can attach some notes, etc. Let's keep it in this case. So once he clears this, the green, as you see, propagates to the parent. So whenever you are clearing a subcause, there is logic in our system that calculates if the parent can be also cleared. Now let's see how complexity is handled. Let's say incorrect visual inspection. In this case, there is a folder icon, nested cause, right? So let's go in here and see what the nested causes are. There could be negligence or inadequate training that led to the incorrect visual inspection. So you can add more causes at any level, any time. So let's say, why was there inadequate training? Maybe there was lack of budget. So we can say plus and say no budget. Right? So this is the fishbone that gets updated, and you can see the entire fishbone using the cause tree where everything is shown. This is the man, this is machine, and material, method, and environment. You can also use this to navigate. So let's say we just want to go up and we come to the main fishbone. Now in here, we now have to analyze other things. Let's say I'm going to assign this to myself and say Julie is going to look at this. Nobody else, so that everybody else knows that I'm looking into it. Work is not duplicated. And in here, I can start with the damaged spring, right? So let's say I investigate it and I do find that there is a spring that is broken or damaged, and I'm going to say the status is it is a contributing cause, right? If I can attach a picture of the damaged spring if I want to, and that will be used as evidence to explain my decision making. Let's keep it in this case, but as you see, this turned red and it propagates to the parent because this is a contributing cause. Now, one thing just to note is that we can actually update the fishbone anytime by multiple people. The updates are merged, and to see all the updates that have happened on the fishbone, you can go into the history, and these are all the changes that have happened. This is an audit log of all the updates. You can also see it visually here. You can see how the problem evolved, who is doing what at what time. You can play it forwards or backwards, just like in a movie. So once I have identified the damaged spring is something that is a contributing cause, I need to take some actions. So let's say I take an action here that says replace the spring. Was the action useful? Yes. Start time, let's just assume it's now, and I completed it already. So but I can select an end time, or maybe I'm going to complete it tomorrow, and I can save it. You can have somebody verify it. You could say that this is going to be reviewed by Ron and tested. He could say tested, new spring, working okay. Because the verification step is very important for quality. So here we have added an action, and as you see, it has percentage complete purpose. We can select different purposes such as preventive, investigative, etc. from the drop down, right? And you can also see these actions in the actions item timeline. So this is a summary of all the causes, and in here, as you see, there is a hand and it says replace the spring. So once we have done this, we have basically solved our problem. We have taken some action. At this point, you can log the cause analysis. How we can do that is click on the fish icon and say log cause analysis. Once we do that, there will be a solved stamp added. This means basically two things. People will be prevented from updating this fishbone. Why? Because you have already analyzed, the analysis is complete. You don't want further analysis. So this will prevent people from updating it unless somebody goes and unlocks the cause analysis, right? So the second thing that happens when we lock it is that it gets pushed into our knowledge repository, where our AI recommendation engine can actually use this data to make recommendations for future problems that are similar to this one that we have resolved. And one last thing that I would like to mention, you can also save these problems as templates. And one thing we can do here is always, once this problem is resolved, we can say save as template, and then it will go into our repository. We can enter a template name, my new airbag template, and include whatever we want. You can put it in this system or this account, and it will be saved there for future use. So this is very useful when you want to share the knowledge as actionable templates. I hope the flow was clear. Please do reach out to us at support@prosolvr.tech if you have any questions. We are more than happy to do a live workshop, hands-on workshop with you. Thank you.